Hello everyone, and today we're getting into part 2 of the Great Adventure Takeover, essentially using a level 3 Synchro sort of spam deck here. Again, inspiration taken from other people. I've been working on a lot myself as well. This seems to be one of the most unique ways of abusing the adventure engine, as well as one of the most successful, especially taking advantage of Cherubini. The specifics of it now, the deck is rather large and there is a reason for that, which we'll be covering at the end once we go into our detailed deck profile. So do watch until the end and watch through the gameplay as well, because there is a lot to sort of take note of. But in general, if you like what you're seeing and you want to see anything more, again, feel free to subscribe and leave a comment down below saying what you want to do. The support on the channel over the last couple of days has been absolutely insane. It has really skyrocketed, and I'm so thankful for everyone who has subscribed. We're up to 141 subscribers at the time of recording, which is insane because just 2 days ago we were at 88. So I really do appreciate everyone who's taken the time to hit that button. You know, it's completely free, it doesn't cost you anything, and it really does help me out. So if you are watching and you're not subscribed, why not? You might as well while you're here. You'll get notified about any more content coming up. People seem to really be loving that Dragon Maid deck that was put up as well. So if you do want to see any more Dragon Maids, I do have a couple of recipes sort of lined up here that we will be going into over the next week or so. So do keep an eye out for that. But with all of that having been said, let's get into game number 1. Alright, moving into game number 1 here, we are going second, so not ideal. Our opponent starts off the game with the Enchantress. We're going to try and Ash that Enchantress because the more we can slow down that potential engine, the better. Ash has gotten a lot better as of this recent patch, but Call by the Grave is also going to be seeing a bit of a spike in popularity by adventure decks, specifically to stop your Ash Blossom. So our Ash does unfortunately get hit by Call by the Grave, but it is what it is. He adds the Rite of Aramasir to his hand, which is now going to activate to give him an adventure token out to his side of the field and activate Fateful Adventure onto his field, which he'll now use to add another Enchantress to hand. He's going to discard a Droplet, and his idea here is he's going to normal summon out an Ash Blossom, get the Draco back from the deck, and then special summon the Enchantress to the field. So he's not going for Griffin Rider for some reason. So he's going to use these two to go into Cherubini. I guess this was the idea. He's going to use Cherubini to send Boots to the graveyard. Boots will banish itself to add the Phantom Knight's trap card. It just special summons itself as a monster. He'll set one, then go into Artifact Dagda. Then he's going to activate the trap card, which will trigger Dagda to set Scythe from his deck. We're not going to allow that. We cannot afford to be hit with that Scythe lock. So we're going to use Imperm on the Dagda. We were holding on to the Imperm specifically for that reason. So we're going to stop the Dagda, no Scythe for him. He's going to summon out the Phantom Knight's trap card as a monster. He's going to use that to go into Link Spider, so now it's an effect monster, meaning he can summon out his Predaplant Verte Anaconda. Anaconda on the field, of course, is going to pay 2,000 life to fusion summon out the Destiny Hero Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer. So, you know, it's not looking great. We have 4 cards in hand and we're facing down a DPE, so it's not looking... We have 3 cards in hand effectively with Dasher. Dasher doesn't count. He's a hard brick. So we're going to use Rite of Aramasir to grab a Brave token and the Fateful Adventure. Then we'll special summon out the Enchantress. We go to use Fateful Adventure's effect, and that's when he chimes in with his DPE to destroy our Fateful Adventure. That does slow down the deck a little bit. But honestly, there were more detrimental targets he could have hit, so you know what, I'm fine with it. We're going to use our adventure cards to go into Dagda. Sangan then is going to go into Salamangreat Almirage. Sangan then is going to search our deck for Crusader Arborea, which can special summon itself to Dagda's zone. Then we're going to use that and Arborea to go into the Hulk. Hulk's going to summon out from the deck the Jet Synchron, which is also going to trigger off Artifact Dagda's effect to set Artifact Scythe from deck. So now we're going to summon out the Jet as well. We're going to use Jet and Dagda to go in here to Predaplant Verte Anaconda. Anaconda pay 2,000 life, send DPE. I wonder where we've seen that play before. So now we've got the DPE save Crystron set up all here. We're going to swing in for 14, swing for 5, swing for 25, getting as much damage across the line as possible. Then we're going to destroy his Fateful Adventure and our Anaconda to slow him down on the follow-up turn. And that will pretty much do us here. Our opponent has 2 cards left in hand. We have a lot of play here, but he will be getting the DPE. Unfortunately, he just hard rips into the Griffin Rider and then resummons the DPE. Now, the reason that's such a pain is it gives him an additional target for his DPE. Our plan was he would activate his to destroy one of his cards and one of ours. by using our DPE early, or by responding to his, we would have been able to remove his target for destruction for his field, meaning he wouldn't be able to destroy anything. The Griffin Raider just gives him an additional target, so it didn't matter which one we destroyed, but it did matter which one he destroyed, and he messed up big time by taking out our DPE. So basically, what's going to happen, a whole bunch of effects are resolving here, but it's all fairly straightforward. The two DPs are both resolving to summon a Destiny hero next turn. Scythe is going to resummon itself from the graveyard, and TG Wonder Magician would have destroyed a spell or trap. Scythe is going to lock our opponent out of using their extra deck. TG Wonder Magician is going to trigger a quick Synchro summon on your opponent's turn. 5+5 gives you Pt.2. So basically our opponent had one card left in hand, and we had a Pt.2 on the field. Not looking great for them, I will be perfectly honest. But yeah, a pretty amazing showing here. It was a bit of a rough game. It wasn't, you know, totally one-sided. It wasn't as if we were breaking the wildest of boards. Absolutely not. But it was a good little game of attrition, a little war of attrition, and it shows you how easily you can set up what Scythe, DPE, and Pt.2. Like, that's so strong. That's powerful as hell. But yeah, that's pretty much it for game number 1. Let's get into game number 2. Alright, game number 2 here. We're actually going first this time, and we have a very interesting looking hand, very colorful. We'll normal summon out our Rose Dragon and special summon out the Thunder Dude, can't remember his full name. The red Rose Dragon, when used for Synchro Summon, will special summon out Rock's Rose Dragon, which will grab us the Basil Rose Shoot. Basil Rose Shoot will then grab us the Rose Dragon, and that's perfect because that goes into Cherubini, 2 level 3 monsters. Cherubini then is going to send the Enchantress from the deck to the graveyard because it's a level 3. Banish the Enchantress, grab the Red of Aramis here. This basically means that the entire engine is searchable off of any 2 level 3s, which is amazing. We're going to summon out our Fateful Adventure token, get our Fateful Adventure. We'll summon out the Wielder, which will trigger the Fateful Adventure to search for Dracoback. We'll then add the Griffin to discard the Jet Synchron, and the reason we discarded Jet Synchron is we'll discard Dracoback off of Jet, and we still get to use Dracoback's effect to equip, and we also get Jet then onto the field. We'll use Jet and Cherubini to go into Crystron Hakifibrax to summon another level 3. Using those two, we go into Dagda, and now we're going to use the Griffin Rider, special summon itself out to the field, and we're pretty much set up and good to go here. We don't have safe set right now, but we will be setting it during our opponent's turn. Our opponent is also going to go in for the Enchantress. We're going to use our Griffin Rider here first thing, because not only do we get to negate the Enchantress, we also get to use Dagda's effect to set the Scythe from the deck. And now we're going to quickly chain in Hulk as well, just to stop him from doing any further shenanigans. Our opponent must like high numbers because he chains Emergency Teleport for some reason. He summons out Punk as the admin, we summon out our TG Wonder Magician. Dagda's going to set Scythe from the deck. Griffin Rider will resolve and negate the Enchantress, and Enchantress does nothing. Now a second chain link activates, TG Wonder Magician pops the Scythe. Scythe then will resummon. Scythe will lock our opponent out of the extra deck, and then TG Wonder Magician will activate in chain, Synchro Summon into Cheng Ying. We already had Pt.2, and our opponent has realized that's it. That is game over. Insane field here, honestly. Again, it shows you that safe lock in this deck is deadly consistent. It is so powerful, and then being able to so consistently go into Hulk as well on top of that, or else into Pt.2, into Cheng Ying, into DPE. There's so many routes for the deck that is actually brutal. It is so fun. Definitely one of my favorite decks, and definitely my favorite for the adventure engine thus far, but we will be playing with more. But yeah, that's really good game number 2. Let's get into game number 3. Alrighty, game number 3, and we are going second here. It's a decent hand. We don't have any tuners that we would want to summon, which is unfortunate. We go for Max C here, seeing that this is Prank Kids, but we do get Ash. I was not expecting that to resolve. I knew for a fact he had something like Ash. It just is what it is, but we had to try our luck anyway. He's going to go into the Meow Meow Moo. He's going to summon Wind from deck. Then he's going to go into the Prank Kids Doodle Doo. What we do here is, I mean, virtually nothing. There's no real point in hitting the Doodle Doo because he'll just summon a second one. So what are you going to do? He's going to summon out Lampsies, and he's going to search for Pandemonium. So he's setting up for his big fusion plays here. The Doodle Doo will tribute itself to grab 2 of his Prank Kids cards from his graveyard, add them back to hand. So he's going to add them there. So our opponent now, set 3, pass. I'm assuming he must have the materials in hand for the Battle Butler or something like that. And that must be Pandemonium set. We're going to summon out Sanguine, go into Salmagrate Almirage. That will trigger Sanguine to search for Arborea. He's going to go into the Pandemonium now early. We're going to use Maxi because basically if he's sending a bunch of his prank kids to the graveyard, he will then get the opportunity to special summon them. So this will at the very least allow us to draw 1 card and dissuade him from further summoning out any more prank kids. He summons out the Battle Butler in defense. It's not looking great. We summon our Crusadia Arborea. At this point, he decides now he's going to nuke our field. He gets to do that twice, by the way. We're going to chain our Almirage to protect our Arborea, so that basically means that he's only getting rid of 1 of our cards. We keep the Arborea on the field, and now we can special summon out the big guy. We're going to use these 2 to go into Cheng Ying. And this is what we make a huge misplay here. We decided we were going to be big brain and get aggressive. Do not do this. Do not preemptively trigger your Cheng Ying just to get some extra free damage across the board. We messed up hard. The idea was banish a card off of Crossout, Cheng Ying, banish a card on field, and engrave. Unfortunately, our opponent had the Imperm set here. You're going to see it in a second. We had Imperm in the deck. We could have waited and we could have hit the Imperm off of Call by the Grave. We would have got the exact same result, except we would not be getting destroyed. We really messed that one up. Do not do that. That was a big time play. It actually cost us this entire game. But I want to include that as a do not do. Ah, dear. He's gonna go. He just rips into Fusion Destiny apparently because that's fair and balanced. He's gonna swing in with DPE here. We take 25 to the face, and we deserve it after that last play. Prank Kids, Pranks is gonna add back a bunch of his cards. He's gonna be recycling and drawing a card. We draw into Junk forward. Sorry, special summon Junk forward. Go into the Effect Veiler. We're gonna summon out Hulk. Hulk is going to summon from the deck a tuner, which, I mean, again, we can't really do very much with. He's going to destroy our Hulk preemptively here, and we're still going to get our Jet Synchron, but it doesn't really do anything for us because we don't have like Link Karibo or anything like that. We've already normal summoned, so it sort of is what it is at this stage. We really screwed ourselves over when it came to that Cheng Ying play. Honestly, that really cost us this game. He's going to go into another copy of the Meow Meow Moo here. That's going to summon another thing from deck. We're going to preemptively chain the DPE's effect. Our Effect Veiler's effect to the DPE to stop him from using it. Just because at this point we may as well. He's going to go into Doodle Doo. At this point he's just BMing. So we're going to fast forward here. We know exactly how this ends. Pandemonium to hand. Yep, Doodle Doo. Tribute, add 2 to hand. He's just, again, gathering all his materials. I'm assuming for another fusion summon here. There's Pandemonium. Fuse 3 into the Battle Butler. And yeah, so he has pop 1 whenever he wants and nuke the field twice whenever he wants. And an additional draw 2, because why not? Yeah, honestly, it was a difficult matchup. You know what I mean? So that Battle Butler is he means business, as does DPE, being able to just freely nuke the board whenever you want. Our opponent did misplay a little bit whenever we summoned the Thunder Lord by not popping then and there. Honestly, we really screwed that one up with that cross-out play. That's just a learn from that mistake. We would have been fine and we would have won that game more than likely if we didn't do that. So just bear that in mind. Something to learn from, and a good gateway then into game number 4. Alright, game number 4 here. Again, we are going second, and we were going second a lot, and that's why we included cards like Lightning Storm. Now, our opponent doesn't actually do anything going first here, so this is going to be more a demonstration. We do go for Fusion Destiny, and it gets negated, which is unfortunate. And if you look at our hand, we really don't have any other plays, which doesn't happen often in this deck. We did unfortunately draw into both Celestial and Scythe, which is a real pain. We're going to go into Almirage here off of our Jet Synchron. We only play 1 Fusion Destiny, so the Celestial is not useless. We're going to go into our Christian Hulk. Christian Hulk is going to summon out the Wielder from deck so we can summon Tracker from hand. These 2 are going to go into Cherubini, and look how quickly that hand went from dead to amazing. We don't even need to go into Dagda because we already have the Scythe set and we already have the Hulk ready to go, so we don't even need Dagda in this game. Our Red of Aramasir, which we got off of the Cherubini, was going to summon out our token, and it'll grab our Griffin Rider. Griffin Rider then will summon itself out to field, and we're pretty much just gonna swing in for as much damage as we can get here. We're going to use the 2 Link Monsters. A little bit BM, maybe wasn't necessary, but you know what? It got us the game. We used the 2 Link Monsters to go into the access code talker. Quick and easy lethal, and that's pretty much it. Now, forget about the access code talker part of that play. It was just a demonstration of how the rest of the engine can sort of like float around and work off of another one, work off of each other. So basically, prior to going into the access code talker, we had the Crystron Hulk setup and the Safe setup. Safe is not the worst card in the world to draw into. It's actually quite good to draw into, in my opinion, because Hulk is so easily summoned, and Hulk is how you're going to pop it. So both Hulk and Predator Plant Verte Anaconda, basically, if you no longer need to go into Dagda, that just frees up your turn to go into other Link monsters, like Verte Anaconda, which admittedly in this case would have been a bit dead because I didn't have any Fusion Destinies left. I might want to run a second one just for that reason. But yeah, that's pretty much it. A quick and easy last game showing off the power of the engine. Let's get into the deck profile. Alrighty, so into the deck profile, there is a lot to break down here. So get a good look at this here. We're going to be talking about it and sort of blitzing through it. Most of these don't have any particular reason of being here. It is just level 3 spam. So the level 3 spam we will cover off first, basically. So first of all, Sangan. Sangan's probably one of the best normal summons in the deck. Normal summon this, go into Salamangreat Almirage, and then Sangan will search your deck for Arborea. Now, Sangan stops you from using the effect of the card that you searched for the rest of that turn, but Arborea is an inherent summon. It doesn't activate its effect to be summoned out to the field, meaning you can still summon it. So you just summon it out to the zone that Almirage points to. You can use these two to go into whatever it is you need to do. Arborea is also a tuner, so it allows a Hulk play. Amazing. So definitely one of the strongest normal summons in the deck. Junk forward, if you control no monster, special summon it. So it's a free level 3 on board. Wielder is a free level, if you control a level 3, summon it. So it's a free level 3. If you control level 3, summon Tracker as well, free level 3. Rose Dragons also are all level 3s, which is really good. And they help sort of, these again are also second to Sangan. Oh, maybe these guys are better than Sangan. But either way, the Red Rose Dragon, basically when sent to the graveyard for a Synchro summon, will summon out the Rocks Rose Dragon and grab you Basil Rose Shoot. So basically, if you draw into the Red Rose Dragon as well as a level 7, either your Griffin, which you can search for, that's why we don't play many level 7s, or your the Ascend of the Thunder, you go into Baron de Fleur and you will give yourself the 2 level 3s on your field in the form of Rocks Rose Dragon and the Basil Rose Shoot reviving Red Rose to go into Cherubini. Cherubini grabs your Adventure Engine. So pretty busted. Really love the Rose Dragon engine. It's sick. We have the Adventure cards, which we'll come back to. We have Safe and DPE cards. We have Murmur, which is here to be summoned off of the Yazi. So Yazi can pop itself and an opponent's card to summon out a worm from deck, and that's going to summon the Murmur, which will basically reduce its level by 1 to summon a token, and you can do that up to 3 times per turn. So that's 3 tokens. And it will reduce itself down to level 4. Each of the tokens is level 1. Pretty nuts. Murmur is insane. Free Ascend of the Thunder, it's just a free summon. We had Adventure Engine. We had the Adventure Engine. We have Nibiru, primarily as a cross-out target. To be perfectly honest, we love cross-out in this deck. Nibiru's here for that. Foolish Burial for the Adventure Engine. You might want to play 2 Fusion Destiny just in case one gets negated. Just something to think about. We're playing Lightning Storm, specifically to stop Floowandereeze. Floowandereeze is a painful deck. All of their monsters are always summoned face up attack position because they are normal summon, so they're not special summon, meaning they will not be in defense, meaning you can absolutely blow their backs out here with a Lightning Storm. So that's why this is here. That's why I'm going to continue to be running this card, because Floowandereeze is awful. Hate it. More adventure cards, we've already covered those. Emergency Teleport. Emergency Teleport will special summon out any level 3 or lower Psychic, so that's a free excuse to get one of your Wielder or Tracker onto the board. Really good free summon. Cross-out Designator can negate anything, and we're running virtually most hand traps in the game at least some sort of ratio. You might want to take out a Veiler for maybe a Dimension Shifter if you had one, but I don't, so here we are. So Cross-out Designator is really good. We have Droplet, just the one. You could probably bump it up to 2 if you wanted, maybe cut an Imperm or something, but I really love Imperm at the minute, so either way, we're playing at least one of it as a cross-out target, and because it's really strong, Basil Rose Shoot for the Rose Dragon engine, and Imperm because Imperm, as well as Ash, Veiler, Maxi, all this typical stuff. Ashe is also a level 3. It holds a little bit more synergy with this deck. You might want to play Ghost Ogre if you have it. I don't, and it's a UR. I'm not crafting it for this specific purpose. But that was a sort of, I know I sort of blitzed through it there, but the deck itself is usually, it's really, really simple, to be honest. You're literally just spamming monsters onto the board. You're looking to go into your Dagda, you're looking to go into your Hulk, you're looking to go into your plays like that to summon out, you know, your DPE, your Baron de Fleur, your Cheng Ying, summon out all your big boss monsters, your Anaconda. What makes this version of it so powerful then in terms of its relationship with the Adventure Engine is how easily it can summon Cherubini. Cherubini requires 2 level 3 monsters, and you can send one, basically a level 3 monster from your deck to the graveyard to boost its attack points by its attack points. So you're going to send your Enchantress because it's a level 3. So Enchantress gets sent to the grave. From the grave you can use its effect, and that gives you full access to your Adventure Engine. Really, really, really powerful. And because of that, that means you're going to be able to access the Adventure Engine in basically every game, which gives you an additional, 2 monsters on board, an equip spell, all for 0 cost, essentially, because you can just use the Cherubini to go into the likes of Dagda afterwards, or go into Anaconda, or go into Hulk. So yeah, your sort of core end board is going to be using probably all 3 of these guys, all 3 of your Broken Link 2s, your Anaconda, your Hulk, and your Dagda. You want to use all 3 of them in your first turn, and that is very, very easy to do. You just need to cycle through it. I can't give you a combo because look at the deck. It's not one combo. You're just spitballing your way into every single play, and it is really, really powerful, really fun, and quite simple. It looks very complicated, but it's really not. It's very much just I summon my entire hand and win the game. So, you know, what more do you want? But yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on it. If you like what you see and you want to see anything more, do feel free to subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, and it really does help me out, so why not? You're already here. And if you have any suggestions for what you would do with the Adventure Engine, with this version of the deck, or any other decks you want to see, do leave me a comment or jump into the Discord and contact me directly. But that will pretty much wrap us up for now, and I'll see you all in the next one.